Let's go, bro.
I need some. Hey, I need some new stuff. I think I'm about to like we in the mix. You know, I need some. I'm gonna think of. We gonna ponder on it. But for now, we live.
Are live.
Not like them Rockets. The Rockets is straight though. We talk about the Rockets. We ain't talked about the Rockets in a minute.
The Rockets. Let me see what the record is first before we go in. You got the record? No, I got it.
Looking
22-14.
Nah, I was.
The Rockets are 22-14. So the Rockets got off to a great start. They've been playing tough, and then we had a couple of hiccups. We actually in the midst of one right now. Now tonight they play the Chicago Bulls, but as of right now, as we speak, they are on a 3-game losing streak, and these have been some frustrating games. Now, just before that losing streak started, we played against the Phoenix Suns, and in the Phoenix, that was a great game. And in the game against the Phoenix Suns, we didn't have Alperen Sengun. Sengun was out with an injury for a couple of games. In that Phoenix game, it came all the way down to the last shot where Kevin Durant sealed the deal with a 3-point shot at the end of the game. Left like 1 second and some change on the clock. It was sick. It was nice to see.
He wanted that. Yeah, he wanted
but then
that.
The team proceeded to follow it up with a couple of losses. We had back-to-back games against the Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers. Yeah, and we lost both of them. How you lose both of them?
Hey, KD had 37 and 30 in both of them, like 37 in the first night, 30
KD is
night.
Obviously doing what he's there for, but I think the problem with the Rockets is that somebody else has to step up and be a consistent scorer and playmaker for the team. So I don't know, like with Sengun there, I can understand the losses without Sengun. The losses are just a couple of points. But then after the Trailblazers game, they played against the Sacramento Kings, where they lost again with Sengun on the floor. Now, I can't explain that. I can't explain that. What do you need in order for the team to get back to what it was before that 3-game losing streak, before we lost Sengun?
Hey, man, you're asking great questions, bro. I think they have no real offensive identity. KD it's kind of inconsistent. KD don't get the ball whenever I think he needs to get it. And I think this all boils down to Fred VanVleet. Us losing Fred VanVleet has been, bro, I think that was probably a bigger problem and a bigger hit than what we thought it was when it happened. We thought we plug and play, put somebody else there. Amen, not it. Reed,
they're learning.
Holiday,
they learning, but they don't give you the same production.
No, for sure.
They do not give you the same production that VanVleet can give you, and that's a problem. I like having Reed Shepherd and Amen Thompson play guard, but it's simply not the same as your veteran championship winning guard in Fred VanVleet. Now, I heard a rumor we could have him back later. Bro. He won't have to miss the whole season, but for now, they're going to have to figure it out.
I mean, let's be clear, bro. It's not about replacing Fred VanVleet. It's just stabilizing the offense while he's gone. That's what I think. That's what I think. I either like staying high on Fred. I was a Fred VanVleet hater before. We talked about that. But I think that if we can keep him, and we can keep the core that we got. We can keep the young core. I think we can be straight.
What do you?
I actually wanted to talk about some trade options. Some trade deadlines coming up. I don't know if that's getting too far into it.
That's exactly why I wanted to go with it. Now the trade deadline is February 5th. That's going to be in the next 2 weeks and some change. You'll be seeing the trade deadline. So it's coming up next month. And there are a couple names out there on the board. Are there any names that you think we could add to the team in order to solidify our standing in the West?
A lot of people talking about Peyton Pritchard. I've heard Scottie Pippen Jr. I've heard a lot of different options. But these that I came up with, I kind of like them, bro. The first option I had was TJ McConnell.
It was who?
TJ McConnell.
Oh, another veteran.
Yeah. I think and I think us not really a true point guard.
He's a combo guard.
He keeps the offense. Yeah, bro. He keeps the offense organized, and he doesn't stunt Amen and Reed where they can't still hoop and they can't.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
He takes some of the pressure.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm real high on that one, and I wasn't thinking that myself. I think CJ McCollum could help this team out, and I think you might be able to get him without giving up much. I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true that when he was traded to the Atlanta Hawks, they immediately waived him. So he might be able to be picked up on waivers. I don't know though. I don't know if that's correct or not.
Hey, the trade, the option I was gonna give, and I don't know if you rolling with this, Jayshawn Tate and a second round pick. That's it.
Something not losing too much. Something that you ain't gotta lose too much. That's my problem with this trade deadline talk, is that any player that would actually move the needle for us is somebody that you have to give up part of the core in order to get. And I like the way the Rockets look right now. I'm not in favor of getting rid of pretty much anybody. But if you can get somebody in like a CJ McCollum who won't cost you much, I think that having him as a veteran ball handler on the team.
Hold on. I'm trying to plug and play. Maybe get somebody. I don't think the Rockets really need that, but I don't want to get rid of our core either. That's my main thing. I don't want to get rid of Reed. That was the other thing too, because I think another trade that everybody was talking about was Giannis. I don't know why they keep getting us into the Giannis trade thing, saying we can still get Giannis with KD.
I don't think that works.
I don't think that works, but if it were to, it would be giving up Reed Shepherd, it would be giving up Jabari Smith, it would be giving up Tari Eason to get a Giannis. I don't think I'm willing to give up really all of them. Maybe a couple of them for a Giannis, but honestly, not all of them. So
I'm not willing.
I kind of want to keep the core, bro. I want to keep the core.
I'm not willing to give up a group of those guys. I got some names myself that I think bring up interesting situation. The first name I want to talk about is Ja Morant. Do you think Ja Morant fits into what the Rockets are doing, and would you be willing to give up the cost for Ja Morant?
I think if we move it to a Ja Morant, are we moving on from Fred VanVleet?
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to get Ja Morant, Fred VanVleet would be You
got to give up Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, you got to be done. You got to be off of Fred VanVleet.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I like Ja Morant, bro. I'm a Ja Morant fan, so that'd be nice, bro. I don't know if he meshes with KD and the offense and the way he plays. But I mean, it would be nice because I feel like Ime's more of a defensive-minded coach.
And Ja plays good
so he
defense.
Gives us some more offensive presence,
I think Ja
bro.
plays decent defense,
he gives us some high volume.
I'm gonna say this. I after giving it some thought, I'm not the biggest fan because I'm really not the biggest fan of Ja. I think that he finds a way to miss.
I didn't think he would.
He finds a way to miss games like all the time, and then he look like he don't learn nothing from his punishments. He look like he willing to throw the team under the bus if he ain't getting what he want. I'm not here to deny that his talent wouldn't improve the Rockets, but I don't know that I'm willing to give up any of the young boys for Ja Morant. That might require Amen Thompson. Yeah. So what? But you know.
Not an Amen. Not an Amen. No, But I wouldn't mind
thinking about. I got other names like Michael Porter Jr., who's playing for the Brooklyn Nets. They looking to flip him and turn that into some youth that they can use going forward. Michael Porter Jr. is killing it over there, and this is a guy who's a champ with the Denver Nuggets, banging it up. Now a trade like that.
He can teach Jabari how to Smith because Jabari been shooting like garbage.
Yeah, Jabari ain't been able to knock it down, and I'm pretty sure he just in a shooting slump. I think he'll be fine, but I don't think Jabari is as good as Michael Porter Jr. I think Porter Jr. could end up being, would end up being a better player for us if in the short term, so that we could make a championship run. What about the name Jonathan Kuminga?
Kuminga wouldn't be a bad idea. I thought you was gonna say one of them Ball brothers, but
no. I would love to have Alonzo Ball for however many games he could play, but he injury prone. He plays great defense and he can drive the offense. That would be a sweet move, a sweet pickup, and it likely wouldn't cost us too many players. The problem is he would end up missing in action, just like we dealing with Fred VanVleet. But I would love that.
Bro, hey, they wouldn't. But who you got to give up? Who do we got to give up for that?
Alonzo or Kuminga?
Not the Lonzo. No, not for Alonzo.
Kuminga. I think if you bring in Jonathan Kuminga, you have to get off Jabari Smith Jr. And that's where the question lies. That's where the question lies. is he a better player than Jabari Smith Jr. with this Rockets team? Because as of now, Jonathan Kuminga is a real good player, but he don't fit in with what the Warriors are doing. So that's why he's being moved. He's not being moved because he's not a good player. So you got to think about that. You got to ask yourself, if you're willing to give up Jabari Smith Jr. in order to bring him in, what about the name Klay Thompson?
He right down the road, bro.
I would like to see him coming off our bench. And I think you could get Klay Thompson for pennies on the dollar. You might be able to get him for a second-round pick or a rotational player.
Hey. Somebody call Megan.
Tell her she can come home.
Somebody call Megan and tell him just
tell her to bring him home.
Cook him some
you know what I'm saying?
Cook him some catfish and spaghetti.
Klay,
and tell him just come on today.
The Klay Thompson that we seeing on the floor today is a shell of the Klay Thompson that used to be when he was peaking as a Golden State Warrior.
Still hit
but
buckets,
he can still get buckets. He can still something that you don't lose with age, your ability to knock down the standstill jump shot. So I think there's that, and just his veteran ability to be able to help the young guys. He was always a real good defensive player. I really do think Ime Udoka could bring the most out of him on defense and on offense, put him in the right positions. I think there's a few players that could help us if we don't have to give up the core, and I'm willing to do so if that's what gets us out of this losing streak, if that's what gets us to a level where we are now not competing with guys that are below us, but only losing or having contested games, close games with the playoff teams of the West.
All right, so we got 14 games before this trade deadline. Do we move pieces? Do we keep
I think you got to, if you're the GM, you got to go through the guys that you would be okay parting ways with. And then you have to have a list of guys that you would be okay with losing some of your guys in order to bring in. Now, if we talking about a CJ McCollum or a Klay Thompson, those are aging veterans that you can get without losing your core. But then if we start talking about a Jonathan Kuminga, you got to ask yourself if you're willing to let go of Jabari Smith Jr. Then if we start talking about Alonzo Ball, well, then you got to start asking, what are they going to want in return? Is he still in Chicago?
I thought he was in Cleveland. He in Chicago?
No. He's in Cleveland. I think he is in Cleveland. You have to ask yourself, what are they going to want in return? Because Lonzo could cost you a rotational player or a player that you don't want to give up. Yeah, so I think that's what it comes down to. Some compare and contrast. What can you get? What are you willing to bring in? And then what price are you willing to pay for these guys to help you? And then what are the chances that you could be wrong about what they bring to the team? Because you can't lose a good rotational, a good core player for a player that you thought was going to make the team better, and it don't happen.
Okay. They
got to get better.
Hey,
they got to...
I was going to say, these next 14, 15 games, I think there's some teams in there that I think that are winnable, bro.
Yeah.
A good amount. I think they go onto a little winning streak. I see the Rockets just kind of chilling and letting it ride. They go on a losing streak. I see us making some moves. You gotta
evaluate the team at this point if you haven't already been doing so. The Rockets got the Bulls tonight. Maybe they can break that losing streak. But by the time this video comes out, we won't be able to have the results in this video. So, H is up. H is up. Let's keep doing what we do.
Rockets all day, baby. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm talking about